Yesterday we arrived at a little hot air balloon airport right next to the Valley of the Kings. We're less than a kilometer away from the ridge line where behind it is where all of the monuments for the Valley of the Kings lives. So we were lucky enough that we could set up, get all the gear put together, take a few test flights. We ended up launching a little bit late, something like 9:30 in the morning. So we just took quick test flights to check our gear, get a lay of the land, see where everything is, get an idea of where the stuff is, and then we took a long afternoon break, flight here and there, had some really cool food, had some actual authentic local food. It was flatbreads with falafel, but also a delicious spiced beans named ful. So after that, hung out for a few minutes, and as the evening got closer and the air got smoother, we started taking off and saying, okay, the air is getting better, the air is really good now. Let's go set up for the shots. Let's go fly around all of this historical monuments. We have the Temple of Hatshepsut right there. We have all of the tombs of the pharaohs, and I couldn't name all of them. And we ended up being able to just fly over, look at all the caves, look at all the structures, wave to the tourists, and then come back, set up for some photo passes, have a few pilots waiting, get a bunch of pilots together, and then we all come in one big formation, pass through while our photographer's on the ground setting up and grabbing gorgeous shots of us. So flew until the sun went down. The sunset was gorgeous. Sunsets are gorgeous everywhere, but it's extra special when the sun is gorgeous and then all of a sudden the lighting on the Temple of Hatshepsut turns on, and then all of a sudden you have this glowing monument on our right. The resort is on an island. It has some name, but I think it's also known as Kings Island. So on the northeast end of Kings Island, there's a grass field. It's a perfect size for paramotor launching. I wasn't uncomfortable at all with the tight launch spot. It's grass, there's no dirt to mess with. We all set up in the morning, woke up nice and early. I think we had a 6 a.m. wake up, 7 o'clock call time. Got to the field, gear's pretty darn close to good to go. All set up for launch, and we end up flying down the Nile River. So, 1, I foot dragged the Nile River, check that off my list. 2, we were playing around, we have a couple pilots with us, our photographers and videographers, GoPros and cameras are everywhere. And we have a few shots we want to grab, but before we get there, we have a few minutes where we're just cruising along. The Nile River's on our left, we have the city of Luxor on our right. It's just beautiful flying on this calm river, and then you see this city that's thousands of years old on our right. And you see temples and houses that people live in, and every once in a while you see these monuments and statues. And that's when it started to get real for me, which was, wow, you're flying so close to a city, and this city is thousands of years old. I think we got to the first temple, Luxor Temple itself, and we do a couple of passes around. So we just get into formation, fly around it, and just have our beautiful ozone wings with the temple in the background. All kinds of statues are scattered left and right. You see mosques and temples in the distance. We get a couple passes there, and then we continue to fly down the river to the Temple of Karnak, which was a huge historical, I don't want to say ruins. The Temple of Karnak is a gigantic lot of, you can tell it was something huge in the past, but flying over it, there's such a scale of, wow, there's so much to see and so much inside. And again, we did the same thing. We took a few photo passes, had all of our wings lined up. And my favorite part about it is that as you're approaching the Temple of Karnak, there's a plaza with nice, calm trees. And right down the middle of the plaza is just this open concrete area. And it was just this perfect approach with the sun in the background, where the sun was shining through the various windows or holes in the walls for the Temple of Karnak. We're in the Temple of Karnak. We're just being regular tourists right now, walking around sightseeing.
So it's quite a different perspective. It's quite nice to get that different view of, you know, flying over the top of it and it looking quite small, and then we get down here and realize actually how big it is. And also we can see here all of these details and the hieroglyphics and all of these sorts of things that we can't see from the air. And it's really nice to get that different perspective. So really cool trip. We're going back to the hotel now, sailing back from the city centre, where we went to a local restaurant, tried some local cuisine, and explored the temples as well. Get that different perspective from down below. And Ahmed has been really good at organising a lot of things for us to see, for us to do, organising all of these places for us to fly and speaking to all the right people to make it happen. So it's been really good, really useful. And I'm very, very appreciative of it. It's really good fun. It's quite an experience that I wouldn't get anywhere else.
Perfect. It was an amazing flight, amazing. And now we have to pack and go to the pyramids. Task number 2.